Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, yep. Then let me share my screen. Okay. Great. So yeah, this is the day 3 of Flutter and Art, and it's Vivek Yadav. So today the agenda is asynchronous. Okay. So what is mean by asynchronous? So asynchronous means it will not be in sync. Okay. Whatever we will do will be not in a synchronous form. And what is synchronous form? Synchronous means uh, so whenever we execute something, um, line by line, that is known as synchronous. Okay, synchronous means you're waiting for first line to finish and then only you are executing second line. And what happens when we say asynchronous? So basically, asynchronous means I will not wait for some other functions. I will just start doing my own work. Okay. I will not even wait for some API call, or I will not wait for some file loading call. I will not wait for anything else. Okay. And in synchronous, uh, executions wait for their previous call to end. Okay. And yes, so that is asynchronous and synchronous. And by default, everything is synchronous in Flutter. So basically, for the UI part, everything is synchronous. First, yeah. So let me just show you how it is synchronous. If we go here and let me open this one, no, layouts. Okay. So here, uh, by synchronous, I mean to say that first main will be called. Then this build method will be called because we are calling here, right? Directly here. So then this build method will be called, and after that, because in this thing we are using layouts. So after that, this build method will be called because that is inside the layout. And until and unless this main method does not run, this particular piece of code will not run. This build will not run. Same thing goes for this build as well. Okay, until and unless previous builds are not done, this particular thing will not be running. Okay, that is the case of synchronous. Okay, everything is in sync. Okay, and what happens when we do synchronous, sorry, asynchronous? Okay, yeah, so when we do asynchronous, so at that time, let's say that this statement one. Okay, so let's say this statement one takes 4 seconds. Okay, statement 2 takes 3 seconds. Statement 3 takes, let's say, 10 seconds. Okay. If, and let's here also denote the time. Okay. So let's say that this is the synchronous behavior which we are doing. Okay. First one is sync. So first, in first second, so let me do a timer. So on the first second, statement one will be called. Okay. And statement two will wait for statement one to finish. After that, statement two will be called. So if I add this 4 second to this 1 second, so on the fifth second, statement two will be called. Okay. Similarly, after 3 seconds, okay, that means 5 plus 3, 8. After 3 seconds, statement three will be called. Okay. And after 10 seconds, the program will be end. So I can say 18 seconds. At 18 seconds, program will be end. Okay. That is, this is the synchronous behavior. Okay. When things are in synchronous, this is how things flow. Okay. Now let's see what is asynchronous behavior or async behavior. Yes, fine. Let me take the same thing here, that we have these three statements which takes 4, 3 and 10 seconds respectively. Okay. So at 0 second, just assume that 0 second our program starts. Okay. And at 1 second, first program run. Sorry, first statement will run. Okay. Now on just second, okay, so let's say just for at least 1 second is taking for statement 1, okay, that by that mean on the second statement 2 will run, okay, on third second statement 3 will run. So can you see that we are not waiting for it to complete it, okay, we are not waiting, it is just, you know, statement 1, 2, 3, they are just executing in line, it is not waiting for its result, and that is why async come in process, okay, it is not in synchronous, okay. And yeah, because statement 1 is taking 4 seconds, so 1 plus 4 after this the 5 second statement 1 ends, and 2 plus 3 at the same time 5 second statement 2 ends, and 3 plus 10 13 second at 13 second statement 3 ends. So can we see the clear difference that this synchronous is taking 18 seconds and this asynchronous is taking 13 seconds. Okay, so we can see that asynchronous behavior of application executes better with time as compared to the synchronous one. Okay, do we have any doubt here? What is the synchronous and what is the asynchronous? I hope everyone understood that part. Okay, now, yeah, okay. So now let's see what is here in Flutter. So inside asynchronous, okay, so basically when we learn or when we do asynchronous, we have few keywords. Okay, so these keywords are async await. The first is async and await. The third is future. Future is an object, okay, which help us to work with asynchronous part. Okay, then there is this feature builder. Feature builder is just kind of a widget. Okay, it is a widget which help you to consume future objects. Okay, feature is an object which help us to do to work with asynchronous part, and feature builder is a widget which help us to work with the future, and timer is just an example of just simulating this one, your asynchronous behavior. Okay, so let's see what is async and await. First thing, async and await both are keywords. Okay, async denotes that a particular function is a type of asynchronous. Okay, how? Let's see that. So let's create a new project here. For that, we will go to terminal. Okay, here, cd dot. Yeah. So here we will create our first Flutter project. Flutter create. I can say async project. Async project, something like that. Okay, it will create a async project for us like this, and then we will open min.dart. cd, we will do async project. Okay, yeah. So here, let's see what are, okay, let me just remove this part and I can copy that from layout. Okay, I just copied the code and I have done nothing here. Okay, so let's create a function. So let's create a function that says get async. Okay, so this get async will do what it will do. It will give us a result after 5 seconds. Okay, and if your function is going to give a result in future, okay, so or I can say or in future. Okay, if it will give you result in 5 seconds or after 5 seconds, that means right now we are saying that our this particular piece of code will give us a result in future. Okay, is that clear? Can anyone tell me if they are not understood this part? This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah. So if your function is going to give you a future result or a result in future, then you have to denote or you have to tell compiler that this particular function is going to give me a result in future. Or I can say that this particular function is the asynchronous. Asynchronous. Okay. And how do we tell that to compiler? Okay, here when I say that you have to tell particular thing to the compiler, that means we have to write in that particular thing in the code. Okay, because whenever we run our code, first the compiler checks the code, it verifies if everything is perfect or not. Okay, so yeah, so you have to tell your compiler that this particular code will give me a result after some time or in future, and this particular function is a async. Okay, a async function. So what we will do, we will add a async keyword here, and as soon as you write async keyword here, this particular function becomes asynchronous. Okay, if we are not denoting this, so then Flutter will think that this is not a asynchronous thing. It will so basically it is just a normal function. Okay, now async. Okay, so now this particular thing is async. Okay, this function is async. Okay, but inside it, what we will do, we will call an API, call an API. Okay, let's say that it will take 5 seconds. Okay, which takes 5 seconds. Now to get the result from an API, okay, to get the result from an API, we have to wait for it. Okay, we have to wait for 5 seconds so that it gives us result. And for that purpose, we use await. Okay, so we have two functions. One is two keywords. One is async and second is await. First one async to let you know or to let compiler know. Compiler know that it is async. And another is await to let compiler know that we are waiting for result. So just think of it that you are a teacher, okay, and you know that there is a student named Vivek who will take at least 5 minutes to update his project, and he will then come back. Okay, so if we are in Viva situation, okay, so you will say Vivek, Vivek, go do your work and then come back. Okay, so that is how asynchronous is working, right? You're not waiting for Vivek to complete his work. You are saying, Vivek, go and complete your work. And once you complete your work, then come back to me, right? So our compiler will say, hey, get async, go and complete your work and then come back. Okay. So I can say that he is Vivek, okay, who will take at least 5 seconds to complete his project. Okay. So now he is Vivek, right? This particular function is async, but he is Vivek. So for to complete his own work, okay, he will await. Await means to get the result from API. Result from API, he will await for himself, or I can say he will wait. And to wait for or to wait for a particular thing to complete, we use await. Okay, and okay, I guess this is a lot of thing. So we will see that we will see this particular thing in uh, actual thing, okay, basically actual code, and then we can understand more about it. Okay, so just to remember, we have async keyword, we have await keyword, okay, and then we also have okay, yeah, I will show that later. So we have this future object as well. Okay, and how this future object work, I will tell you when we will do some practical thing. Okay, so now to remember, we have we have to remove few things. First is async keyword, then await keyword, and then future object. And this future builder is a widget, okay? And it is widget, that means we will use it in our build function, okay, right? We will use that in our build function. And this future builder help us to use this future, future functions directly, okay? And for timer, we will see that later, okay? So, yep. So directly, let's jump directly to our code, and let's remove all these things. Okay. You all are familiar with how to add a package, right? Can I get a heads up on that? How to, you all know that how to add a package?
Yes.
So to add a package, you have to go to your pubset.yml and in here in dependencies, you can add your package. Okay. So here, let's do a plan. To learn, yep, to learn async, what we will do, we will do API call. Okay, API call. What is mean by API call? That means HTTP call, and that means future call. Okay, basically it will give us a result in future. Okay, and to do an API call, what we will need? We need HTTP. Okay, and in HTTP we need get function. Okay, so there are few functions like get, post, put, delete. So we are going to use get function of HTTP. Okay, which will help us to do an API call. We will do get API call with HTTP. And here, while doing HTTP call, we will need async and await, right? Async to denote that our function is going to give us a future result, and await to wait for the API call to complete. Okay, and then we will use future object, okay, to deliver a solution or a result in future. And then in the end, we will try to see future builder. Well, it is we will again go through on the builders or this particular things, I think tomorrow. But yeah, so we will see a small glimpse of future builder if required. Okay. So now let's focus on these four things. So first we will do an API call, and to do API call, we need this HTTP package. And how to do, basically how to add a package. To add a package, you will go to pubspec.yml, and here I will write HTTP, and after doing colon, if I do, where is my terminal, yes, here. If I do, let me clear it. If I do flutter pub get, so it will download that HTTP package for me. Okay. So now running a pub get, and it is completed. And this is our async project. Okay. And if you go to this pubsec.log, okay, so this pubsec.log is actually a file which downloads all your this dependencies. And if I try to search for HTTP with this, yeah, so you can see that we have downloaded our HTTP. Okay, so this is how you can confirm if you have downloaded or not. Okay, so yes, we have downloaded the HTTP package. We can close this pubsec.yml, and now it's time to import that HTTP package. Okay, because we have downloaded that, now we can import it. Okay, so how we can import it? By writing exact path. So this is the path: import package of HTTP, then slash http.tart. And if you go inside this particular file, you will see a lot of files that are added, a lot of functions over here. Okay, and we are going to use this function, this get function. Okay, do we know how to import a file? Have we talked about that? Yes, no.
Vivek sir, your screen is slightly zoomed, so we are not getting the whole of the screen.
Let me again reshare it. Okay. Is it better now?
Perfect, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So what I was asking that do we know how to import a file?
Sir, we know how to import images, but I don't know what about file. I mean, exactly what type of
Okay.
file.
So yeah, file means, for example, we have added our dependency here, HTTP dependencies. Okay. Now we have to use these dependencies. And to use any dependency in our Flutter project, we have to import that particular package, or I can say import that particular dependency which we are going to use. It is very similar to what we do in Java and C Sharp, C and C++. So it's like before using it, we will first import it. So here we can say that I have imported package HTTP by using import keyword. Okay. So what it will do, it will import all of its file for us over here. Okay. And how we can confirm that? By trying to get its function. So if I write get, we can see that we have some function here. Okay. And if I go inside this function, then we can see that it is coming from this HTTP package, right? You can confirm that http.art. That means we have successfully imported this package. Okay. Also, I have an option of giving a name. Okay. For example, for example, in school or colleges, we have some different name that friends call us. Okay. Similarly, we have a different. I mean, we have an option of adding a different name here to whole package. Okay. So how I can do that? I can do that by using as keyword. So import this package as HTTP. Okay, now so if I do HTTP dot, so you can see we get all this function. So it acts like a variable for this particular import. Okay. Now wherever I do the HTTP dot, so you can say that we get all this function, all these objects here. And it can be anything. It can be Vivek as well. And here, if I do Vivek dot, we can say all these functions here. Okay. So this is the kind of alias which we can give. Okay. So right now we are using, we are giving HTTP only. Okay. So here, the first thing what we have to do, we will do an API call. Okay. And HTTP call. We have already imported HTTP package here. Now it's time to call an HTTP function. Before that, let's have a stateful class. So what we can do, we can make it stateful. So we have this bubble, convert to stateful. So now this stateless class is converted to stateful, and in the body, we will have let's say column. Okay, I guess we are everyone is familiar with the column. The column have option of children. Now in children, I will write text result. Okay. And here we will have an variable as well, variable result, and we will initiate with it with some empty values. Okay. So we can see we have text result, and then just below that we can have a button. So there is an option of elevated button which gives us an option of on press and a child. And inside the child, what we can do, we can add a text like call HTTP. Why is it an issue? Yes. Elevated button, does it need anything else? Oh, sorry. Okay. So now also we can add a const. Okay. इसको remove कर देते हम लोग. Okay, right now, so we can see that I have a text which will show result. Right now it is empty. Okay. And then I have this elevated button whose on page is right now empty, but we will add something over there. And then I have a text on this button known as, we can see that it looks like call HTTP. Let's run this particular project. So to run it, we will write flutter run -t Chrome. I hope everyone is familiar with this line, flutter run -d Chrome. And then we will run this particular thing in our project. And then what we will do, we will add add the function here, okay, to call our HTTP function. Okay, before that, let's see that, yeah, we have this call HTTP button here. Okay, that's great. Now also what we can do, I can make it to center. Let's do what happens as soon as I do call center. We can see that it came in center. Okay, and if I do main axis size dot main, can anyone guess what will happen? Any guess? Okay, the whole center will come into center. So we can see that this particular thing came in. Whole column is in center. Okay. Yeah. So now let's create a function. Okay. Now that we have our UI, we have our UI ready, we have our functions ready. Where is that? Yeah, we have our UI ready, we have our button ready. It's time to create function and call it. So how to create a function? To create a function, we will first write return type. So right now return type is void, and function name is call HTTP. Okay, and then we will open this square where sub. Okay, we'll do this, and then I will do HTTP dot get. As we know that we are going to call HTTP package. Okay, am I audible and visible? I guess. Okay, someone is meeting in.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought I lost something. Okay, okay. So now we have HTTP dot get. Okay, here can we see URL? So basically, it needs a URL. Okay, and how to pass a URL? So right now, to pass a URL, we have to write this thing URI dot parse, and then here we have to pass the actual HTTP URL. Okay, and how to get HTTP URL? I have that solution. So for that, let's go to numbers API. So yes, we are going to call this numbers API. I mean, we are going to use this numbers API to call an HTTP call. Okay, so basically asynchronous call. Yeah. So let's see how it gives us solution. So yeah, we can see that this particular line. So this numbers API is actually a website which gives us a URL, and whenever we hit that URL, it gives us something. For example, here, if I run this particular thing, okay, so it gives us that. Let me just zoom it. Yeah. So it says that. Oh man. It says that 42 is the result given by something. Similarly, I can I give any number. For example, right now I'm giving 9. It will give me a result for 9. That 9 is the number of circles in hell, something like that. Okay, I can give 1. Similarly, it will give me 1 for 1. The fact is 1 is the number of moons orbiting Earth. So basically, whenever we will hit this particular URL, it will give us some result. Okay. Similarly, we are going to do here. So right now, I will put this particular link here. So we can see that right now our statement looks like HTTP dot get. Get is the function which we are calling, and then this is for the URL. So we can see that we are writing URI dot parse, and then we are writing actual URL here. Okay. Now let's call this particular function. I'm not adding any async await right now, to let you know how it looks. Okay, and let's do this as well. So we have one object where result, and let's do print result, and let's see what we see in print. Okay, and similarly we have init state function. We know what this init state does. Okay, init state is called just before build method, and in this init state we can call our HTTP function. Okay, is there anything that you have not understood till now? Is there anything?
Excuse me, Vivek sir. I'm
Yeah.
having one announcement to make.
Okay.
We are having some guests from Knowledge Consortium of Gujarat here. They are present over here. So I welcome all of the guests on behalf of Computer Engineering Department of Government Polytechnic Gandhinagar. I cordially invite all the guests from KCG. And ma'am, sir, if you are having anything to talk, or just you may go ahead and talk, or you may just raise your hands. So I welcome you on the behalf of Computer Engineering Department, Government Polytechnic Gandhinagar, in this faculty development program. Okay, sir, you may go ahead. Sir.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So, yep. So let's restart our program and let's see basically what we can see right now. Okay. So it is restarted and let me bring it back. Yes, it is restarted. And can we see something like instance of future response? Okay, do one thing. Let's do one thing. We should not be calling here. Should remove this particular init set. So when we click on this button, call HTTP, it will call this HTTP function. So we can see that we have this on press here option, on press option, and in the on press I have written this call HTTP. So whenever this button will be pressed, it will call this function call HTTP. Okay, and here call HTTP, what it does, call HTTP calls this particular function, this particular URL, and try to find out the result. Okay, again let me restart it. Do we have an error? Yes, we have some error. Isn't defined. Why isn't defined? Sorry. Yeah. So we have restarted our function. Okay. Now when I click on this button, so you can see I'm clicking multiple times. Okay. Yeah. And just after clicking it, we can see that we are getting a future of response. Okay. Can we see this future object here, a future word here again? Okay. That means what we are doing here, we are calling this particular function, okay, which gives us a future object. Okay. And it gives us a future object. And to get a future object or to get a result from future, we have to use await keyword, as we have already discussed. Okay. So we can see that we have to use await keyword to get that result, right? Now, what we can see that after writing await, it is asking us to actually make this function async. So basically, whenever you use await, the compiler gives us an error that if you want to use an await keyword, you have to use async keyword as well. So in other words, what we can say that compiler says that if you want to use await keyword, first let me know that your function is an asynchronous function. Okay. So yeah, we can see that our function is asynchronous function, and right now we are waiting for our result here. Okay, we are waiting for our result here. Initially when we didn't use this await, okay, at that time we were not waiting for result, even though we know that this particular function will give us a result in future that we have already seen here. Okay, if this thing will give us a result in future, then we have to wait. Okay? And after writing this await keyword, we make sure that we are waiting. Okay, so let's restart our application again and let's see what is our response now. Okay, let me again click this call HTTP. Let me call it more, 3-4 times. Okay, so here now we can see that initially we were getting the instance of future response, but now we are getting instance of response. That means we have waited for this future result, and now we are just getting the actual result. We are not. So basically, we waited for this particular thing, and then it gave us a response object, and we can confirm that if we go inside here, you can see its return type is future of response. That means it is going to give us a response object. Okay, and that's why we are able to see response here. Okay, so you got this point, right? What is the difference after using await and before using await? So if you are not using await, it will give you future response. Okay, and if you use await, it will give you actual result, that is a response. Okay, now what we will do, we will use this actual response here. So instead of where, because we know that we are getting response, we can use the response directly. Okay, response. Okay, you can ask me, sir, we are not getting the response, but yeah, we have, because we have imported this file as HTTP. Therefore, if we want to use its object, we will use HTTP to get objects also. So now we can see that as soon as I hit HTTP dot, this particular error is gone. Okay, that means we are using this HTTP keyword to get the object, the all the classes and objects, as well as we are using this HTTP name to get all these functions. Okay, so now if okay, so now let's see what do we get in response here. So if you go to definition, and here we can see body. Okay, and if you know about HTTP, that HTTP gives us a body. Okay, and that's why in your response as well you will get a body, and as soon as I do result dot, you will see a body option here. Okay, sorry, and let's try to print this body, and let me again restart the application. Okay, we will go here, and if right now I click on this call HTTP, okay, I've clicked it for 3 times, and so you will see different results. You can see that 42 is the answer, something like that. Okay, so you can see that right now we are getting our actual result. Okay, and this is what HTTP call is. Okay, any doubt till now? Any doubt? Yes, no? Anyone? Okay, I guess no. So, yep, this is how we call an HTTP, or we call an API, and this is how we execute a future call or HTTP call or a sync call or something like that. Okay, let me revise this thing again. That to make a async call, okay, you have to use async and await keywords. Okay, and you will, after doing this, you will get a future object. Okay, what is mean by future object? Okay, yesterday we have seen something like list. Okay, we know that we had some objects like list here, something like list. Okay, and in the list we can add anything, 1 comma, okay, sorry, 1 comma 2 comma, even false we can add, 1.2 we can add, and strings we can add, something like that. Okay, but as soon as I make it generic, so let's say the generic is int, as soon as I make it int, it will give me error that you can only add integer values, you cannot add anything else. Okay, so this is known as the generic part. Okay, similarly, similarly future is also a kind of generic. Okay, so if you go inside this response, okay, and sorry, not response, you go inside this get, so you can see this future is a type of generic return type, and which is saying that this future will only contain response object, and that is why we are getting response object over here. Is that clear? Any doubt around that? Any doubt around uh, future or response or generic types?
No, sir.
Okay, so now we know async await, and we also know this future thing. Okay, so let me explain you how we did our API call. Okay, so for doing this simple API call, we are using get function. Okay, the HTTP have a lot of function, for example, get, post, put, delete, but right now we are only using get. Okay, and to call an API, you need a URL, you need some hit point. Okay, so this is our hit point, HTTP, and then colon this numbers api.com/42. Okay, so this is our actual URL. Okay, and then we have to pass this particular thing to get, and to pass that we are using URI.parse. Okay, so it is parsing our actual URL and it is converting into URI. And here we can see that we are calling http.get and this particular URL, and then we are waiting with this await keyword. We are waiting this await keyword to get particular result in form of http.response. Okay, and as soon as we get this response, the print method is called, and inside the print method we are printing result.body. Okay, and we know that inside the body we get actual result which is given by this particular HTTP call. Okay, let's again check if this particular thing is correct or not. So if I go to here and if I put the actual URL, so you can see that yeah, we are getting numbers like this only. Okay, so for example, we got 42 is the number of US gallons in a barrel of oil. Okay, and we can see that we are able to print this particular string here exactly in the exactly same manner. Okay, and after getting that, we are printing it. Just that is it. Do we have any doubt or any issue around here? Anything, any question do you have?
Sir, can we show the response instead of in terminal, we can see it in our output in a label
Yes,
or
yes. Okay, now it's okay. Okay, let's take 2 minutes. Or no, let's take 3 minutes. And I want everyone to come. Unmute yourself and tell me how do we do that. So we have this result object here. Okay, which is written inside this text. Okay, and I want you to tell me how we can show the result here in this text form. We have a local object here. We have a global object here. What do you have to do to show a result? Okay, you have to update this. Okay, let me rename it from result to HTTP result. Okay, something like that. I guess this is better. Now you are getting your result in HTTP result.body. Now tell me how you will show that result over here in this text.
Sir, result equal to HTTP result.body.
Yes, that was right answer. After that, what we have to do?
Call set state method, sir.
Yes, we have to call set state method. Okay, and close this. And as soon as I restart this particular our application, and if we go back here, okay, and if I click this call HTTP, it should update something in our UI. So yes, can we see this particular thing? We are now able to see our result in the UI. Let me do one more thing. Because we are doing text, let me increase its font. Okay, how to do that? For that, I have an option of style. Okay, I have text style. I have font size. Okay, let me make it 32. Okay, that is it. Let me restart it again. Sure. So yeah, I'm clicking on this call HTTP button again. Okay, so we can see our result. Okay, if I click again, we are getting another result. If I click again, we are getting another result. So clicking again, we are getting another result. And yeah, this is how we call HTTP. Isn't that very easy? We just need to use async await and our actual URL. That is it. And we are able to call the API and we are able to get, or we are able to fetch actual result from that API. Okay. Now, any doubt here? Any doubt regarding anything? Anyone? No? There's no question. I mean, are you guys understanding everything?
Sir, for weather like API, it might give us a response in JSON, right?
Right.
That will be covered in later sessions, I think.
That will be covered in just next session by Drumil sir. So yeah, but to understand that JSON part, you have to understand how we are calling this HTTP, what is this async await, what is the future object. You have to understand all of those parts. So that is why I'm asking, do you have any question right now or anything that I mean, it can be a silly thing. That's no issue. Or it can be a big thing. For example, just to ask me that most of the time we get response in JSON. Similarly, do you have any doubt, any question that you want to ask right now? Unmute yourself or send a message in group. Okay, we have a message here. No, okay, okay. I guess yeah. I mean that's great if you're not having any question, but if you're not having any question, that means you are understanding everything, and I guess that's a good part. And still, if you have any question, any doubt, you can reach out to me. And even in the next lecture, what we are going to see, we are going to see this thing, feature builder, not flutter builder, it should be feature builder, and I guess stream builder might be in next lecture or next lecture. Okay, but in next lecture you are going to see how you can parse JSON. Okay, and yeah, also he is going to cover what is JSON as well. So yeah, if you want to be ahead, you can you can just Google it JSON before the lecture. Also again, do you have any question? Any question for me?
Mr. Yadav, if you can give us a few minutes, we can try it out ourselves before next session begins.
That's great. Okay, so let's do one thing. Okay, so here I want everyone of you to call numbers API with 100, but I will not show the code. Does that fine? Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will. So now it is 24, and I will give you time till 34. So at 1:34, okay, I will unmute myself again, and then I will ask everyone, have you implemented or not? And if you're not able to implement, that means you still have some doubt. Okay, is that clear? So yep. So let's try it out and let me know. I'm here only.
Okay.
If you get any doubt, just unmute yourself and ask me, and I am here. Okay. So please let's try it out.
Okay, sir. Meanwhile, we are having guests from KCG. Am I audible to you, sir, ma'am? The guest from
Yes.
KCG. Hello. I think we are having Khushbu madam and Pratik sir from KCG. Am I audible to you, ma'am, sir? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you are having any doubt or question, you may also ask. Okay. If you are having any guidelines or message to convey, please go ahead and convey message to us, sir. I request you all the participants, guests from the KCG. Thank you.
Madam, I think
No, muted.
Four minutes left. Okay, time's up, guys. Okay. So let me know who have completed. Who have did their HTTP call successfully. Can you raise your hands? Everyone. Okay, I got one raised hand. Who else got it? Wow, wow, that's great. That's great, Harsh. That's cool. Do we have anyone else who have tried and got successfully? This particular thing. Or if if you're not getting that, please unmute yourself and talk with me. What particular thing you're not getting, or are you stuck on something? Unmute yourself and talk with me. Hello. If you don't talk with me, how will I know if we have to proceed or not?
Sir, we made a mistake in including package itself. I mean, for HTTP actually instead of GET.
Which thing? Can you show your screen or share a photo, something like that?
Let me share my screen.
Yes.
Screenshot.
Okay. Okay. Who didn't try? Okay. Who didn't try it? Anything? Who is that guy? Okay. Okay. Have you added this uh, HTTP in your perfect.yml?
Yes, sir.
And after that, you have to do flutter pub get. You have to run that thing as well.
I did that part as well.
Okay. But here I can see that it is saying that HTTP is not here. Mm. Okay. So let me show this again. So here, if I remove this, basically I've commented this and I'm running flutter pub get again. You can see that here I'm getting this error. You are also getting this sort of error, right? So basically after adding this, you have to, can you share a screenshot of object.yml? Darshak sir, can you share just screenshot of object.yml?
On
Okay. What about others? Bhaskar sir, Jagruti ma'am, Jasmine, GM Pandey, Gargi, Govind, Dheeraj, Ankur, Mahalakshmi. We have more than 44 people. Yeah. Yeah. What about all of you? Have you tried? Did you got any error or issue? Is It looks good. Okay, how many projects do you have right now? D3 season 2, yeah, I guess that is right. D3 season 2, yeah, that is right. Okay, can you see in my VS Code, I get this option of get packages. As soon as I do get packages, my issues, I mean, I don't, you can see here, it is resolved. Also, how to check if you have download, I mean, you have this thing correctly. You can go to popspec.log here file, popspec.log, and here do Control F or Command F and search for HTTP colon. And if you find any result, that means you have successfully installed, installed your dependency. And if not, that means you have not installed it correctly. So can you check that and let me know?
Sir, doing that.
Yeah, so great. Okay, so then, okay, so let's move to next part. So next, what is the next thing? Next thing is to use feature object. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's remove this HTTP call from this class. Okay, and let's move to some other class. For that, I will create a file. Okay, then file, it will be util file. Okay, utils, or I can say server.dart. The file is server.dart. I have a class server. Then inside it, I have a function called HTTP. And from here, I can copy and paste this. Okay, so that I am, so basically, what I have done here, I'm importing this HTTP package here, and I am putting all these code which were related to our HTTP call in the file that is server.dart. And also we have a class server. Now I don't need this. I don't this. I do not this as well. Okay, but what I will do, I will return our HTTP result dot body from here. Okay, so can we see some error here that a value of string cannot be returned in void? Okay, so here I have to write string instead of void. Okay, but still we can see this error. Okay, and it is coming because of async. Okay, if you see, if I remove this here, okay, from just async here, we can see that this error is gone. Okay, but because we have added this async, that means this particular function is a future function, and when there is a future function, we have to return a future. So even though we are returning a string from here, we can see the string here, we have to tell that this string will actually come in future. And how we can do that? We can do this by like this, future of string. So basically you will get a future object which is generic type of string. Okay, and so okay, so our server class is ready. Okay, we have our server class, we have our function as well. Okay, for HTTP. So now let's how to do that thing here. So we can have, you know, get result some function like this here. Let's add void. Okay, on click of button we will do get result call. Okay, and this get result call will actually call our server. Okay, and it will ask our server to call this HTTP. Okay, and because this call HTTP is a form of future, okay, you can see this future, again we have to use await and async. Here, after writing await, I can write result like this. Okay, if I don't write, await and async here. So we can see that we got error. Okay, and to resolve, we have to write something like this. So if you're writing future of string, okay, then it will work fine. Okay, but if you want the result in the actual string, then you have to use await async. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, I can remove this as well. Okay, because the result will always get this thing, and here I can add set state, right, to update our UI, and I can restart my app. Where is my app? Here. So we can see that it is restarted. If I click on this, we get this result. Okay, we are getting different results. Okay, so this is how import error is gone now. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, this is how we do HTTP call, and this is how we use futures. Okay, also after that, let me show you one more thing. That okay, run timer. Everyone remember that we have created a timer, I guess, in layouts. So if I go here, layouts, do we have timer here? No. Mentor dot, do we have timer? No. In teacher, do we have timer? Yeah. Timer dot periodic. Okay, I am copying exact code. Okay, I'm not doing any change over here. I'm copying that code, and I am putting that here in run timer function. Okay, it will ask me to import it. So yeah, let's import it. Okay, I don't have a number. Okay, I can. Okay, so let's have a number here. Int number equals to 0. Number plus plus. After that, we will do set state. Okay. Okay. Now here is so basically here is your challenge that we don't have to use set state here. We have to do set state somewhere else. And here what we will do, we will return this number from this particular thing. So we have to write int. Okay. So how do we do that? Okay. So if you have a condition, where you are going to get result, okay, after a second or after a few times, okay, then that is the future thing, and for that you have to use async. But if you are going to get result in some interval of time after a few seconds, for example, here we can see that after every 3 seconds we are getting some result. Okay, we are doing something, so basically after every 3 seconds you will get a result, and in that case you have to use async star. So async star tells that you will get a stream of data, not just int. Okay, and right now you will not get just one data, but you will get a lot of data after some time, or after some interval, or after some time. Okay, the time is still not fixed. Okay, are you getting? Is there any question? Is there any doubt? No? Okay. Okay. So here, instead of int, I cannot write future int as well. Okay. For that, I have to use stream. So what does mean by stream? The stream is a keyword, okay, which tells us that you will get integer result after every, after a few seconds, but it will be, in continuous form. You will get, let's say, some result after 3 seconds, some result after 2 seconds, some result after 20 seconds, or something like that. So your stream of output will be open, and you will get a lot of result out there. Okay. Are you guys with me? Are you getting this part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, yep. Okay. But we knew that, or we know that in future, in particular future part, we can use return. Okay. But here with async star, we cannot use a return. We have to use yield, shield, y, shield. That's the one. Okay. We cannot do return on something like this. Okay. We have to use yield. So what does yield does? It does same thing what return does. Okay. So in return, we know that it returns the result and it just stops here. And because the function will not stop over here, that is why it is doing yield. Okay. So whenever you have a stream and async star, you have to use yield. Okay. So let's do yield here in number yield and number plus plus, or it's better if we do plus plus number. Okay. But can you see that we are getting error that yield is not defined or something like that? Yes, if you are getting that, then you have to do yield start over here, star and async star here, and you will see that issues are gone up. That is, oh, I think we don't need this. Yes. And what is this? Don't assign a void, quick fix, add const modifier, and what else? Quick fix. Okay, this is ignored. They're not using. Okay. So, yeah. So can you see that if we are using async star, then we have to use yield. If we're using async star, we have to use yield. We cannot use the return. Any question around here? Okay. Now, here to verify this particular thing, if it is working or not, let's have another thing like update number. Okay, and we will call this run timer. Hey, run timer. I will listen to you. Okay, and whenever you have any result for me, just let me know. Okay, so let's print this event. Are you getting this? What I have done? So because this run timer is a stream, okay, that means it will give me a lot of result in some interval of time, and that is why I will use run timer dot listen. Okay, I cannot use just await and just wait for that part. Here I have to do run timer dot listen, and in listen function, so listen function is like this. Okay, listen, then you have to open brackets, and inside this bracket, can you see it? This part is just like a function. So it is a function where we get this event variable and we can print this event. And based on these, results, we can, print or we can update or do anything over here. Okay. So let's add another button. Okay. And it says start number stream, something like this. Okay. Here I will say what is the function update number. Okay. Let me restart our application. And yes, our application is restarted. Can we see another button? Start number string. Let me click on this start number string. Okay. After that, is it calling it? Okay, nothing is happening. Why nothing is happening? Let's print number here. Let's restart it again. So we have to find out why nothing is happening. Run timer is being called. Timer is this particular thing is also called it is not able to give us L star. Why is it not running? Okay, I have to find out why is it not running, but eventually it should have. Okay, yeah. But is there any question? How do we use stream? Okay, for stream we have to use async star and Z and L star if needed. Okay, any question around here? Any question? Anyone? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No. Okay. We have we still have 4 minutes. So yeah, let me know if you have any question. You can ask me questions around stream because yeah, I guess tomorrow we are going to see future builder and stream builder, which are this future builder and stream builder. And to understand these two, we should be very well familiar with the future and stream. Okay. Date number is not printing this. Why? Okay, I have to debug this particular thing and update everyone why it is not working. Okay. Okay, I guess then yeah, that is it from my side for today. Thank you guys. And yeah, up in the next session you will since Drumil is going to show how JSON works and how you can parse JSON. So if you are very familiar with this HTTP thing, then you will understand everything, or you might not understand everything. So I'll suggest everyone to at least complete our simple project, which is calling numbers API and showing result on our application like this. Like this. Okay. Okay, one last time. Do we have any question, any doubt? Or we can then close off if we don't have. I guess that is it then. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, sir, for such a wonderful session. We are concluding session 2 here. We will start session 3 of the day, sharp at 2:30 p.m. Thank you very much, sir, once again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, and all the best.